leg day. Oh noes, phone down. Okay, Hearn GM. Give y'all a brief tour of this facility. Parking lot. Gotta check these out. Something like that. The wall of death. The section of death. This is where we'll be hanging out today. Nice little custom touches by Andrew Hall of Strength Arsenal. Some cool stuff. Mr. Hayden. It's unfinished, but for an office. Little meeting area. It's being put to use. Kitchen area. There'll be a fridge in there, and then Katie's office. With that said, let's train. What is up, guys? So I just want to kind of do a brief overview, my approach to training right now, and why I'm taking that approach. So in the past, I started out kind of, when I first started training, I started out on a bro split, once a week. A lot of volume, and honestly, anyone that's new to training is going to progress. So I made progress on that, but it got to a point where I did some research, I experimented, and I found that I could train a little bit more frequently. The more that you can, stimulate a muscle, the more potential it has for growth. There's also some mechanisms that are enacted, physiological mechanisms that potentiate growth that are within a certain time frame after training the muscle group. 24 to 72 hours, various physiological processes. And they kind of downregulate. So if you can hit it within that window, multiple times, like after 48 hours or after 72 hours, you can keep that rolling consistently. The issue was, it was hard to chop that volume down, and everyone, has the ideology of the more the better, and that's so ubiquitous throughout training, because it's a mental thing. I mean, you want to drive yourself to the ground. You feel like that's the way to go. You feel accomplished with that. And one thing you kind of have to learn. Fortunately, I've listened to people that have come before me, and if you want longevity and if you want to really be able to recover from things, you've got to watch that. You need to balance, frequency, intensity and volume. And in that, what I'm doing now is modulating volume. I never really touch intensity because I think that quality of the set is number one. But I'm modulating volume. You'll see here, most of these movements are just one, maximum two work sets. But I'm going for progressive overload. So, failure sets. And each week I'm trying to dance like that. Each week,
Literally 90% of Hayden's workout.
each week I'm trying to beat my previous week as far as weight or reps, depending on the movement. And I kind of know that if I don't get a PR with the amount of food that I have right now and the amount of rest, that I need to back off. I may need to rest an extra 2 days or so. Because again, the point is to stimulate a muscle, and then you've got to recover from that bout to be able to grow. You can kind of skirt the line, but over time your lifts should be going up. If you're constantly going in and you're lifting the same weight, like, chances are you're not fully recovering. You're recovering enough to be able to progress. So again, my split right now, it's upper lower, but I have an arm day, and that's kind of an optional day. So if my nervous system kind of feels worn down, like I think this week I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna pull my arm day. Reason being is my arms are kind of a strong point, and again, it does. A lot of people think that an arm day is kind of just an easy day. It's not really taxing on your nervous system, but I've found that if you're already kind of worn down from your previous training days, like, it'll continue to beat your nervous system down if you train correctly. I mean, if you train with any kind of intensity. So I'm using that as kind of a safeguard against that. So upper lower, going for progression. Actually, and another thing here, you'll see, you'll see this inverse hand curl in the corner here. I actually have planned to go from leg extensions into that inverse hand curl. But again, it's about listening to biofeedback. I actually did weighted hyperextensions with a barbell the previous day, and my hamstrings were still lit up. So I went to go do that, and I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get a PR. My hamstrings were sore as heck, and so I nixed it for that day. I didn't do any hamstring, to allow them to recover more, because it would have just put me in it would have broke down more tissue, it would have hindered recovery, and I got to recover from what I did, so again, it's about listening to biofeedback. You can have a base plan, but you need to adjust that based on how you're feeling. So anyways, I hope that covers it. I mean, these failure sets are to true failure. You got to take them. If your volume's gonna be low like that, the work sets need to be failure. So anyways, I think that should cover it. Again, right now, trying to put on as much size as possible. Another reason why I go lower volume, higher frequency, is because I have a fast metabolic rate. So while it's not as much energy expenditure, it allows those calories that I'm taking into account instead of just burning them off of a bunch of volume. And I'm also a smaller guy, so just anecdotally, I feel like I'm not a strong guy naturally. I'm a small guy. So if I feel like I'm putting a lot of tension through my body, it's going to be a better mediator for growth than if I work towards what my body is used to, and that's being a small guy. Higher rep, hitting those type 2 fibers, dance like a penguin. And so that's another reason why. So again, everything's tailored to what I'm doing. Everything's making sure that I'm stimulating something, I'm progressing, and I'm recovering. power bowls. Hulk juice. Oh boy. I gotta get the others. That waffle that's already half gone. Oh my god. Dude, it's been like 30 seconds.
They're so light and airy, it just dissolves in your mouth.
Okay, time to eat.
I can't keep up with the data.
I'm the smart one. I don't have the good look, so I gotta have something.